This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
I'll tell you, the reason I know is every Sunday, his only day off from cutting hair was Sunday. And he would take a half a day off on Wednesday to take my grandmother to the grocery store. It was clockwork. But on Sunday, he would snag those fishing poles. He would head out and he would go to his fishing pole retreat, or he would, if it was hunting season, he would go hunting. He took at least Sunday morning and part of the afternoon for him, which I didn't really notice that until I got a little bit older and he started carrying me with him. He bought me a shotgun. He taught me how to quail hunt. He was not a deer hunter. His theory was you had to earn your prize. And buddy, if you're walking through the woods at 8 o'clock in the morning and quail flies up in front of you, if you knock him down, you earned it, because it ain't easy. So he was a bird hunter. He had two bird dogs that were Cracker Jack, liver spot pointers. Don't ask me how I can remember that, but it's apropos, isn't it?
It is.
But he kind of took that time for himself. He didn't watch football very much, but man, he loved baseball.
I get it. It's a wrestling podcast, but he's saving us money on our mortgage. You really trust this process? The reviews don't lie. 5-star review after 5-star review. We make it fast, we make it easy, and it's no cost or obligation. Give us a shot to earn your business. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did, especially if you like keeping more of your own money. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket, so what are you waiting for? Hurry to SaveWithConrad.com. Ultimately, of course, Father Time does no jobs. How old were you when your grandfather passed away?
It was before I went on the road. I would have probably been 20, 21, 22, somewhere in there. During that time, I had started to, I still wanted to be a wrestler in the back of my mind, but my jobs, once I got out of high school, the first job I had, I was pushing pipe in the ditch for the water department. $2.82 an hour.
Oh.
Then I started to learn how to run a backhoe. Same pay, a little bit more upscale job. Then I got for Rome what was a pretty good job. It's called warehouse groceries.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about this.
I think you have some in Alabama.
Yeah, not too far from me.
So I got a job unloading trucks and grinding hamburger meat and putting chicken in trays, which is like all simple stuff when you work in a meat department. And I started powerlifting in the afternoon, which was giving me more confidence. I was getting stronger. It made my job easier unloading those trucks at 3 o'clock in the morning, boxes of meat in a freezer. And so that evolved into assistant market manager, believe it or not. But I still had this thing in the back of my head about wanting to wrestle. I could not get it out of my head. And we would go sometimes when they would come to Rome on a Thursday, Pee Wee Anderson and myself, the referee. And man, I was just fascinated by it. But I continued to work, that job was a good job in Rome. It actually paid well, and there weren't that many in Rome, to be honest with you.
And your grandfather passed away?
Yep. I got a call, and my grandmother was on the phone and said, you need to get to the hospital. And apparently he had, other than pay the money, we had had a storm and there were some shingles that were blown off the roof. So he decided he had the bright idea of going up on top of the house and fixing that himself. And as he was climbing up the ladder slipped. He fell off, and it's ironic that that's what happened. But as he was falling, the clothesline that my grandmother hung the clothes on was close enough that when he fell off that ladder, he actually clotheslined himself, but on the jaw and across his lip, and he knocked out a few teeth, and it split his lip really bad. So it was bad enough that he had to go to the hospital. And as they got him in there and they started talking to him a little bit, they figured out more was going on. They admitted him. They did some tests. That's where they found that he had pretty advanced cancer. And I don't know if it was from the concussion of the fall, of the what exactly it was, but it led to, in 4 days, he was gone. He had passed away. He never recovered.
And you're how old at this point?
Probably 21.
And what about Grandma? Grandma's no longer with us, I'm sure.
No, Granny's still there.
Really?
Yes.
How old's Granny now?
No, still with us now?
Yeah.
No. I meant then.
Yeah.
Then. So she was by herself there, and she was afraid to be in the house alone. Thank God her sister was still alive, and she came down from North Carolina and lived with her for a while, which helped, just knowing that somebody was there. And but it was a rough time. Of course, she had no income coming in. Whatever she had tucked away, the job that I had, I was still living at home, so I gave her everything that I made, with the exception of enough money to have a little bit of spending money and gas money, and that's it. And I gave the rest to her to run the house. It was some tough times after my grandfather died.
Somewhere in here, you decide to try a new path. And I think a lot of that had to do with meeting Ted Allen. Is that right?
Yeah. And before we leave, my grandfather and grandmother, let me just say this. They taught me more about life than anybody ever has. My grandfather taught me, no matter what, son, you take care of your family, no matter what. And then it's a little house, albeit wood floors, no air conditioning, very, very small home. He said to me one time, son, this house is paid for. Nobody can ever take it away from your grandmother or you. It's yours. You will have a house to live on. It's not much, but it's yours. And my grandmother basically just taught me to live on a budget. There's the stories about when I was a kid, putting the little Debbies in the cart and her taking them back out and looking at me and going, can't afford them this week, maybe next week. And that was all part, at the time, it pissed me off.
Right.
I was wanting those Swiss cake rolls. You know what I'm saying? But she gave me the reason why I couldn't have them. And it pissed me off then. And I figured out later in life, man, that's what you do. Life is all about choices. And you make the right choices, you'll be okay.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.